AITA for not cutting off my mom after my daughter's death. So, here's the backstory. About a year ago, my world turned upside down when our 2-year-old daughter drowned in my mom's pool. My mom was watching her that day, and according to the security footage, my daughter was left alone for just 2 minutes. The fire alarm went off inside the house, so my mom rushed inside to check for a potential fire, but it was a false alarm. When she realized and came back outside, my daughter had crawled into the pool and was unresponsive. My mom immediately started CPR, but she couldn't save her. We live in a rural area, and it took EMS about 30 minutes to arrive. This incident was caught on security cameras, so there's no ambiguity. It was a tragic accident. My mom has always been competent. She raised me and my siblings, fostered other kids, and even babysat my nieces without any issues. But now she's racked with guilt and has attempted suicide 3 times since our daughter's death. My wife and I have been shattered by this. We've just started grief therapy, and during one session, my wife mentioned that cutting off my mom would make her feel better. She wants nothing to do with my mom, which I understand and support, but she also wants me to go no contact, NC, with her too. I couldn't bring myself to do that. I just don't see it as fair to cut off my mom for something that was a heartbreaking accident. I fully respect my wife's decision to avoid my mom, but I haven't pushed her to reconnect, and I'm not asking her to change her stance. Things blew up last night when my wife saw me shopping online for a birthday gift for my mom. She got really upset, and it turned into another argument about cutting her off. I explained, again, why I couldn't do it, despite understanding her pain. My wife feels betrayed, saying that by staying in touch with my mom, I'm betraying her and our late daughter. She gave me an ultimatum. Either I cut my mom off, or she would file for divorce. She said, it's me or her. I tried to reason with her, but she left that night, packing a bag and going to a hotel. I don't want to lose my wife, but I also can't abandon my mom, who's drowning in guilt and remorse. Legally and in my heart, I don't believe my mom did anything wrong. She's also suffering from the trauma of this accident. I fear that losing me would push her over the edge, and I can't handle the thought of her attempting suicide again. I'm stuck between my wife, who's grieving and angry, and my mom, who's devastated and on the brink. I've been accused of choosing my mom over my wife and daughter, and I'm at a loss. AITA for refusing to cut my mom out of my life? Update. After my wife left for the hotel, I spent the whole night replaying everything in my head. I tried to put myself in her shoes, imagining the agony of losing a child and feeling like the person responsible is still in my life. I get why she's furious. This isn't just about a fight. It's about the raw, unfiltered pain of losing our little girl. But at the same time, I also see my mom's side. She's not some careless person who shrugged off her duties. She's a loving grandmother who made a split-second decision to check on what she thought was an immediate danger, a fire alarm. She didn't leave my daughter alone to scroll on her phone or take a call. It was instinct. And now, that instinct haunts her every day. My wife has isolated herself since our daughter died. She's pulled away from everyone, including me, and I don't blame her. I've been trying to give her space, while also trying to keep my family from falling apart. But now, it's clear she's drawing a line in the sand, and I'm scared she won't step back over it. In therapy, my wife said that when she looks at my mom, all she sees is the woman who let our daughter drown. She doesn't see the loving grandma who baked cookies, played dress-up, or was always there for us. And honestly, I get that. The accident overshadowed everything. But what do? My mom's been there for me my entire life. She's always been my rock, and now she's completely shattered. She's living in her own personal hell, and I'm one of the few people keeping her going. She stopped eating, lost a ton of weight, and even the slightest mention of our daughter sends her into a breakdown. I know my wife is suffering, but my mom is too, in her own devastating way. Cutting her off feels like I'd be condemning her for something she already can't forgive herself for. She's paying for that mistake every single day. It's like I'm being asked to hold a trial where there's no winning, only more loss. The ultimatum my wife gave me is burning in my brain. It's me or her. The thought of losing my wife terrifies me. But abandoning my mom could destroy her completely, and honestly, I don't think I could live with that either. Since my wife left, I've been trying to reach out, but she's not answering my calls. She's made it clear that if I don't choose, she'll make the choice for me. I feel paralyzed by the weight of this decision. My therapist says I need to set boundaries, but how do you set boundaries with grief? How do you tell your heart to stop loving your mom because of a tragic accident, or stop loving your wife because she's in unimaginable pain? I keep replaying the what-ifs over and over. What if I had told my mom not to take her eyes off our daughter, no matter what? What if the fire alarm hadn't gone off? What if I could convince my wife that my mom didn't do this on purpose, that she's punishing herself enough already? This is eating me alive. I don't want to lose my wife, and I don't want to push my mom over the edge. My family is broken, and I don't know how to fix it. I've read every message, every word of advice people have given, and it's like trying to navigate a storm without a compass. I feel like no matter what I do, I'm going to lose someone I love. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for not cutting off my mom? Or am I just a son trying to keep his family from crumbling even more than it already has?